So you've got yourself a camera, but you've noticed that when you do video recordings, the quality of your footage doesn't appear to be the same as other people's, even though they're using exactly the same equipment. Well, in this video we're going to be sharing with you the 5 fundamental secrets that take your average footage and turn it into epic. Now this all could seem a little bit geeky and complicated, so I'm going to do my best to keep it as simple as possible. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them. So yeah, you read that correctly. The first thing we're going to talk about on how to improve your video quality is improving your sound quality. And this one is super easy to implement. You see, it doesn't matter how good a video quality you have from your camera. If your sound quality is rubbish, then guess what? So is your video quality. Look to improve your sound quality and your video quality will also increase. Next we're going to be talking about stabilization and how this can improve your video quality. Not only does shaky footage lower the perceived quality of your video, it's also very distracting. Let me just fix this. So yeah, get your stabilization right. If you're not using any type of motion, use a tripod. And if you are introducing movement into your video clips, then use a gimbal. And here's a secret that many people don't know about. Most of the video companies that produce A-list films record on a gimbal or tripod and then add shake in post to make it look like their camera is being handheld. So stabilize your video footage or your camera and the perceived quality will increase. Lighting, 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 lighting. Yep, that's right. The next tip is to always make sure that you get your lighting correct. Now most people, what they do is set up their camera, start recording without even thinking about their lighting conditions and how it's going to light their subject. Spend a little bit more time on getting your lighting correct and your video quality will improve. The other thing with lighting is it sets the mood and tone for your video, which is absolutely crucial when you're trying to convey a message. And a very easy technique to remember is the darker your video setting is, the more sadder or emotional the video is going to appear. And the opposite to this is sunny or bright conditions, which convey the message of happiness or fulfillment. So just spend a little bit of time thinking about your lighting condition and how it's going to affect your video. So frames per second, and in particular slow motion footage, you may have heard that slowing down your frame rate makes anything look cinematic. Now the problem with this is most people go about this the wrong way. Let's say for example you're recording at 25 frames per second. This means that for every 1 second of video footage there's 25 still frames in that second. Now what most people do is take their 25 frames per second movie clips, load it up into their favourite video editor and then slow down the footage, say to 50% or even 25%. Now what is actually happening here is your 1 second movie clip, which is 25 frames per second, it becomes a 2-second clip. And if you was to reduce the speed of that 1 second clip by 75%, meaning that it's playing back at a speed of 25%, that 1 second clip becomes a 4-second clip. Basically, you're slowing down the footage and stretching that over a longer period of time. Now the biggest problem that people don't realise is when you're slowing down your footage like this, you've only got 25 frames to spread across them 4 seconds. And the biggest problem with this is there isn't enough frames in them 4 seconds to make the footage look smooth. You're no longer recording at 25 frames per second, you're recording at 25 frames for every 4 seconds. And if we do the maths, it roughly works out at 6 frames per second. This means there's not enough still frames in that 1 second to make the footage look smooth. Most video editing software on the market today will take them 6 frames per second and try to make them 25 frames per second by replicating the still images and filling in all the gaps. And you end up with kind of smooth footage, but you're not getting true slow motion. Now the correct way to get in proper slow motion footage is to increase the frames per second that you're recording at. Let's take for example 100 frames per second, and we want to slow this down to quarter speed or 25%. This means that for 1 second of footage, which is 100 frames, if we slow it down to 25% speed, it becomes a 4-second clip. Divide that 4 seconds by your 100 frames and you get true 25 frames per second. And your video editing software is no longer trying to fill in them gaps or trying to stretch your frames out over 1 second. And the final thing we're going to talk about is your recording settings in the camera. Always make sure if you want the highest video quality that you record at the highest video quality. The other thing to remember with this is if you load up your footage in your favourite video editor and then you export your video clips, make sure that you also export them at the same bitrate that your camera records them at. It's no good recording your video at 100 megabytes per second if you're only going to export it in your video editor at 20 megabytes per second. You're losing all that data and video quality. Now if you're unsure what bitrate that your camera records at, simply use Google to find out. It really is that simple. So there you have it, the 5 fundamental secrets to improving your video quality. If you've got anything at all from this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see further content from myself, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section and I'll try my best to get back to you. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch up in the next video. See you soon everyone.